the leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Wow. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, let's go. From a studio deep in the heart of Texas.
You're not going to believe the garbage that fell out of his mouth.
The voice of the working man.
This clown had the audacity to say that.
It's the Gavin Mitchell Show.
It's not a race issue. It's a First Amendment issue, and we all just need to understand it.
And now, here's your host, Gavin Mitchell.
Well, we have made it through another week, ladies and gentlemen, and my gosh, spring is on us. We are wrapping up the greatest sports week of the year this weekend, and I just want to say I cannot be more excited. Welcome to the Gavin Mitchell Show. I am Gavin Mitchell. We had the NCAA Final Four over the past weekend. We had baseball's opening day earlier this week. We had the Masters start yesterday and will conclude this weekend. And it's just a fantastic week if you were a sports fan. Jordan Spieth led after yesterday's round in rough conditions, windy conditions, but somehow the Texas boy continued to score. And, of course, I had to throw that in there, the Texas boy, a Dallas native, just running roughshod over that course. It's like the Masters doesn't intimidate him. Now, he's not without his flaws, don't get me wrong, but for some reason – the kid can just score in Augusta, and he's continuing to do so, picking up where he left off last year. It's going to be a fun and exciting weekend if you're a golf fan. My parents actually bought a 4K TV not too long ago. I don't understand why you would invest that kind of money into a TV. I don't even know that I have that kind of money to invest in a TV, but they decided to do it, and If I can work it out, I may find my way over to my parents' house to watch some of this golf tournament that is being broadcast in 4K for the first time. I've never seen this TV in action, this 4K TV. It just, the last time I was over there, I was helping them move into their home, and so I'm very curious to see if this is worth the hype, worth the money. I don't know. But we'll find out here soon as to whether this is a real thing, and if it is, I don't know. I may pick up a second job to try to give me one. Who knows? But we'll find that out. There is so much on our plate today, and I guarantee we're not going to get to it all. It's just how it works. An hour is just never enough, but we're going to do our best. I want to start off today with some of the headlines, and the big story kind of floating around, and it's not on top of everything, but this is a huge story, and it has implications that can reach for generations yet to come. And it would actually be a big piece to solving this immigration problem if such thing is allowed. The United States Supreme Court has agreed to hear this issue in a case called the United States versus Texas. But Texas is just front-running this contest. They are not the only ones involved. There are actually 26 states total challenging this idea that is at the heart of this case. But for us, and as far as we're concerned, there are two storylines here. One is the immigration issue and where we're at with that, why this president feels that he can do this. And that lends itself to the second issue, whether this violates the Constitution or not. And we're going to talk about both of those storylines as we run through it. But let's get educated on what's really going on here. Back on June 15th, 2012, the President of the United States decided he was going to roll out DACA, DACA, and DAPA, DAPA, in memos. Now, these were not official executive orders, and that is a strategic move by this president. But what DACA is, DACA, is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. What this DACA does is it basically gives these kids, if they qualify, a 2-year safe haven, if you will. It gives them an umbrella in which they can't be deported, or they can't be subject to any type of citizenship issues. And if they are eligible, they receive a renewable 2-year work permit and exemption from deportation. That's what DACA does. Now, to be eligible for DACA, you have to meet these requirements. You have to have come to the United States before your 16th birthday. You must have lived continuously in the United States since the 5th of June, 2007. We're under the age of 31 on the 15th of June, 2012. We're physically present in the United States on June 15th, 2012. And at the time, making your request for consideration of deferred action with the USCIS. You have no lawful status as of June 15, 2012. You have completed high school or GED and have been or have been honorably discharged from the Armed Forces or Coast Guard, or are enrolled in school, and have not been convicted of a felony or serious misdemeanors, or 3 or more other misdemeanors, and do not otherwise pose a threat to national security or public safety. So the people that qualify are the kids that are here illegally. They've come over illegally. They were here at a certain time. They were under certain ages. They have the ability to work. They have completed school or are in school or have served. And what this president wants to do is give them a 2-year waiver. But there are no requirements in this DACA to, during that 2-year period, try to qualify for citizenship. There's none of that. Now, if you were going to file for DACA, you have to collect documents to evidence you meet all the guidelines. You have to complete USCIS Form I-821D, which is the consideration of deferred action for childhood arrivals. You have to complete Form I-765, application for employment authorization, and I-765WS worksheet. You have to mail these forms and the fees. The fee is $465 and submit biometrics. After that, you can check your status at uscis.org. That's what DACA is. Now, let's talk about what DAPA is, and then we'll get into how the president decided he was going to implement all of this and make sure that this worked. To be eligible for DAPA, you must have lived in the United States without interruption since January 1st, 2010. You've been physically present in the United States since November 20th, 2014. Be physically present in the United States when applying for the program. Have lacked lawful immigration status on November 20th, 2014. Have had, as of November 20th, 2014, a child who is a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and not been convicted of a felony, significant misdemeanor, or 3 or more misdemeanors, and do not otherwise pose a threat to national security or be enforcement priority for removal. So what the president tried to do in these 2 actions is, if you are a kid and you meet those requirements, then he wants to give you a 2-year umbrella. If you are a parent of a United States citizen, and keep in mind right now, as the law interprets it, you can be pregnant, enter the United States illegally, have the kid, and as the law interprets it now, that kid is a United States citizen. I believe that's going to be hashed out very soon in the courts, this idea of anchor babies, but it is what it is right now. Whether we agree with it or not as conservatives, it is what it is. And so that situation would qualify you for DAPA. Otherwise, if you have a lawful permanent resident child or a U.S. citizen resident child and you came over illegally, here's your way out. And it's a way out for both of them. And I want to be clear what these programs do. They are more incentive to try to get over here illegally because these dates, they're fluid, folks. It's going to be a slippery slope. What they're going to find is there's going to be a number of people who are here illegally with all the issues that illegal immigration brings, and they're going to begin filing because they're scared. They're scared that Donald Trump, they're scared that Ted Cruz is going to win the office, and they are going to begin enforcing the laws that are on the books. That's what they're afraid of, and so they're going to take advantage of these liberal programs and try to get this 2-year safe haven where they cannot be touched, they cannot be deported, they can continue to live life as they see fit, may or may not pay taxes, may or may not commit crimes, may or may not be milking our health care and our public school systems, stealing our jobs. That all of that is on the table with these two programs. And that there in and of itself is the immigration argument, but we're not done with that. I want to talk about how this came into play because we need to understand the full outlay before we begin to analyze it. What the president did is he went to his cabinet members, and he did this in a memo. He did not do it by executive order. It was a suggestion. It was a memorandum sent out saying, this is how we're going to do this. Why is that important? Why is it important that it was a memo, a memorandum, and not an executive order? Because executive order is subject to scrutiny. It's part of the checks and balances that can take place. A memorandum is not. This is just the president saying under our administration, we're going to wear jeans on casual Friday. It holds the same bearing. That's not up for scrutiny by the Congress or the courts or anyone else. And so here we are. He decides to once again circumvent. Now, what is the constitutional violation here that has the Supreme Court wanting to hear this case? It really boils down to it being this simple. To implement these programs has to be an act of Congress. The way Article 1 is constructed is that the Congress makes the law. That is their job. And it is the executive branch, the branch in which the president heads, for them to enforce the law, whether it's through agencies, law enforcement. That is part of his job. Other parts include commander-in-chief, head of state, so on and so forth. But part of his job as head of the head of the executive is to implement the laws passed and enforce the laws passed from the legislature, whether it's through the DEA, the FBI, the CIA, all of those other agencies. Right now, the EPA. That is his job. His job is not to make law. Now, the Congress does allow the president to issue an executive order. And that executive order is law. It's agency law. It's no different than the EPA issuing environmental law. It's law only until Congress addresses it and decides whether they want that to be law or not. Now, here's the deal. Whether it's executive order or agency law, or it's laws passed by Congress, all of them are subject to scrutiny from the judiciary, the third branch. And it's the judiciary's job at the federal level to decide if and only if these laws violate the principles in the Constitution of the United States, because the Constitution of the United States is superior. It trumps all law anywhere, and that's how it is. And so the judiciary doesn't decide whether it's good law or bad law, whether it fits. They're not allowed to rewrite it in theory. But they decide whether it has violated the rights and guarantees and the contractual obligations of the federal government to the people based in the Constitution. That is their job. Well, Texas and 26 other states have said, hold on. You don't get to just write with a pen in a memo, surpassing Congress, surpassing checks and balances, surpassing accountability, and just decide that these people get to stay here. You have way overstepped your bounds per the Constitution. You are not the czar. You are not the king of the United States. And that doesn't work. But that's exactly what this president has tried to do yet again. He has tried to overstep the bounds of the office of the president and enforce his will on this country and the people of this country. And he has decided that with one stroke of the pen, and keep in mind, he didn't even have the courage to do it through an executive order. He did it through a memorandum. In just a cowardly move, he said, we're going to do it this way. We're going to enforce the rules this way. Well, guess what? Texas, along with 25 other states, caught wind of this. They saw what was going on, and they're like, hold on. You don't get to do that. And so they challenged it. Well, in the Court of Appeals at the federal level, they said, hold on, stop. None of this happens. We're pushing pause until we can rule on this issue. And once we rule on this issue, we will move forward. But there's a lot shady going on here, and we're not comfortable with it. So no, none of this happens until we get our hands on it. And on the other side of the break, I'm going to tell you what the Court of Appeals did. We're going to talk a little bit more about this president refusing to follow the Constitution. And then we're going to talk about the immigration implications. And there are a lot of people filing amicus briefs. I'm going to explain what those are, who's doing it, and why they're interested in doing it. Hang tight. We're going to get into all of it on the other side.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
The following message is brought to you by Health Markets, your first choice when you need health insurance for your small business. Do you offer health insurance to your employees? Call us now and see if you can save money. Do you want to offer vision and dental to your employees? Call us. Do you think you're paying too much for your current health insurance? Call us. Do you want somebody else to do all the legwork and search thousands of health plans from over 180 health insurance companies nationwide? Call us. We're Health Markets, and thanks to a little-known solution, we could help your business save thousands of dollars on health insurance costs and save your employees money, too. Our service is free. Don't miss the great savings. Call now.
800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. 800-470-8021. That's 800-470-8021.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all states. Product availability varies.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Hey, everybody, it's Chris Salcedo from the Blaze Radio Network. You are listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show.
All right, so in the first segment, we were talking a little bit about, well, not a little bit, a lot about this U.S. versus Texas, and I kind of explained the situation to you. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment. I want to tell you about my buddy Daryl Petter. In life, there are two things we hold very close to the vest. I'm talking about our medical history and our financial situation. They're incredibly personal. When it comes to your health, you don't go to just any corner shop or Johnny-come-lately. You find the very best in their field. So why wouldn't you do the same with your financials? Daryl Petter has over 2 decades in the industry and has assembled the very best team he can find. Look, Daryl and his guys, they're not just going to sell you anything you're willing to buy like most guys will. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to ask you what your financial goals are. And whether that's putting your kids through college or transferring your wealth to the next generation with as little tax obligation as possible, Daryl will find the right vehicle that gives you the very best chance to achieve those goals. No one has a crystal ball, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. But with over 2 decades of experience, Daryl and his team have seen plenty of ups and downs in the market. Daryl Petter and the guys at Petter Financial, they are personal friends of mine, and they handle all my financial service needs. So I encourage you, give Daryl a call today, 817-416-4346. That's 817-416-4346. So there are a couple issues running through this story. One is just the pure stance on immigration. The other is the constitutional issues that are running through this. And with that, it's kind of twofold there as well. One is, and we talked about it in length, the president once again overstepping his bounds, having zero regard for the Constitution, having zero regard for the checks and balances that lie within the Constitution itself and how this thing is supposed to operate. Those checks and balances were put in place to keep a tyrannical president in check, to keep a tyrannical Congress in check. That's why they're there. They are there to prevent exactly things like this. They're there to prevent deals made with the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, because those are supposed to be treaties. But by classifying it as a deal, it's not subject to the scrutiny of Congress as a treaty would be. And so he takes that deal he has and he locks it up on Capitol Hill for no one to see unless you have certain credentials. He will not let us, the press, the people, take a look at it for public scrutiny. He is not interested in transparency despite all the hoopla you hear from his administration. Well, here's another case where he feels like he can go out on his own and do as he sees fit. He can just do whatever he wants because he is the king of the United States of America in his mind. And so we've talked about him overstepping his bounds there and not even having the stones to do this through executive order. He did it through a memorandum. But it is holding enough weight that Texas and 25 other states have said, hold on, we're going to challenge this. And so what they did is they took it to district court. And the district court said, look, we're going to push pause. We're going to stop everything until we can rule on this. And this thing is completely vetted and completely cured. Well, they took it to the Court of Appeals in New Orleans, the Fifth Circuit. And they said, no, you know what? That's not a bad play. We're going to uphold the injunction that says stop, and we're going to send it back down for a decision. Well, the case has ran its way all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has agreed to hear it. And that's now. They are going to hear these arguments. Well, with all of that said, during the process, there have been a lot of people file amicus briefs. One is being the House of Representatives. And folks, this does not happen all that often. But back in March, the House voted to embrace the legal challenge to President Barack Obama's actions on immigration in an election year fight over executive authority and the 11 million immigrants living in the United States illegally that has roiled the Republican Party. This is out of a U.S. News World report that I am reading. Obama, exceeding his constitutional authority, is unilaterally expanding programs for immigrants, which is exactly what they're doing. We talked about it. They prevailed on a 234 to 186 vote that authorizes Speaker Paul Ryan to file a friend of the court brief or an amicus brief in the case of the United States versus Texas. This is a lawsuit from 26 states led by Texas that challenges Obama's actions, with the Supreme Court set to hear arguments now and possibly rule in June. Here's what Ryan had to say about this. It's about the integrity of our Constitution. Those lines, that separation of powers, could not be clearer. But in recent years, the executive branch has blurred those lines to the point of overstepping them altogether. And that's the issue here. That's the issue. But what does the left do in these situations? They spin it to find victims. We've talked about it endlessly. So here's what old Louis Gutierrez, a Democrat from Illinois that is in the House of that's in the House of Representatives. He says, why does the majority party not say what they want? They want millions of immigrants deported. Out on the campaign trail on immigration, we get lies and demagoguery from Republicans, plural. Well, I don't know. I think it's been pretty clear there, Representative Gutierrez, that the right is very interested in making sure that people uphold the law when it comes to immigration and every other aspect of the law. We do not think here on the right that it's okay that I have to follow the law and you have to follow the law, but this guy can just jump the border and come and steal our jobs. He can get education for his kids for free, milking our tax dollars. He can get health care because the emergency rooms cannot turn anybody away legally. And it goes on and on. We've talked about the immigration issues. Yes, I think it has been very clear on the campaign trail that that is where the right stands, and rightfully so. Why is it okay? I was listening to a local radio show today, Chris Salcedo, great friend of the program, incredible conservative, branded as the Latino conservative. He is the guy that is proud of his heritage as a Latino, but he believes the same way I do, that the laws matter, that legal immigration matters. And he is all for, and everybody is all for doing it right. And a guy called in and he said, look, my wife, she's been my wife for 20 years. She filed her papers for Mexico. She waited in line. She came to the United States. She has been seeking citizenship since. And now they're trying to deport her for reasons X, Y, and Z. That's garbage. That's complete garbage that someone willing to follow the rules has the threat of deportation, but those that aren't willing to follow the rules, those that just hop the fence and come and steal our jobs and everything else, don't have to follow the rules. So Representative Gutierrez, with all due respect, you're out of line. You have no clue. The House Democratic leader, Nancy Pelosi, this clown who has had her flash in the pan and is on her way out, says, quote, the president has the right to take these administrative actions under law. Well, no, they don't. No, he doesn't. And that is why the courts are willing to hear this. Well, California decides to weigh in. Who is this lady? This lady, she's an idiot, who she is. Sally Quinonesha, Deputy Director of the Immigrant Legal Resource Center, which leads this organization, Ready California, is quoted as saying these programs would improve the lives of over 5 million people nationwide, 1.5 million in California alone, by allowing them to continue building their lives and contributing to their communities without living in fear and uncertainty. Today's decision brings us one step closer, and she's referring to, was written at the time the Supreme Court agreed to hear the case. Today's decision brings us one step closer to providing protections that keep families together and strengthen our communities, and that is truly good news. Well, let me argue this point for a minute. First off, it's not 5 million people. That is minimizing the impact of this. It is well over 11 million. And the 1.5 million in California may or may not be right. I don't know. This is what I do know. This is how the left does it. They spin it, talking about providing protections to keep families together and strengthen our communities. And that is truly good news. If I go out and I commit a crime, and the consequences of my crime are to be extradited from my home and extradited from my community and placed in a penitentiary, well, no one cares about my family because the consequences of my actions are such that I get locked up. I should have thought of that before I committed the crime. I should have thought about being extradited from my home and my community away from my family before I committed the crime. So tell me why that is different than someone electing to come over here and break the law and illegally enter the United States and steal jobs. Why aren't they held to the same standard? Why is it different for them? Why do we have this classification as illegal aliens and illegal criminal aliens? They've already committed the offense by entering the country illegally. They committed the offense. And so I just find it baffling, the double standard that those of us who are United States citizens per the Constitution of the United States are held at a much higher standard than those who just break the law and enter the country. They're held at a lower standard. They're given these allowances so that they can get these entitlements. We've talked about it over and over again, and I'm not a big Krauthammer fan. I'm just not. But I think his summary of the whole situation is exactly how we should close this argument, because it's more than just immigration on the line here. It is a rogue president overstepping the bounds and doing whatever he wants. He's running roughshod. So I'm going to read what Krauthammer said, and then we'll go to the break. He said, if the president is allowed to go ahead and do this, and it's decided that it's constitutional, then you can send Congress home. You can eliminate Article 1 from the Constitution. Then there are no laws. I mean, the judge is right. As a policy issue, the Congress decides, it passes the law. It decided that this is not appropriate. The president has a big heart with your tax money, and the Congress said no. Government benefits go only to citizens. And if the president can unilaterally overturn that, then we have no laws, and we have essentially a single branch of government that legislates. This is a huge decision. I do not understand how the 4 liberal justices will, as they will, resist the logic here. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And here's a deal where, man, we could really use Scalia right now. Couldn't we? Man, we need him. But even if the court ends up in a 4-4 tie, they've got the couple options we talked about. They can hold the case over for the next term, or they can send it back down and resort to the lower court's ruling, which is in favor of those who believe in logic and rational and believe the Constitution does bound this president from running roughshod over all of us. And so I thought it was well worth 2 segments today, the U.S. versus Texas. It is being heard. The ruling will come out this summer, and it is a big one, folks. It is really big, and it's something we need to be aware of, because these are our jobs. These are our families. These are our schools, our communities. And it just isn't okay. And it is illegal per the law of this government that people can just walk in and take our jobs. If we have no borders, we have no country. It is that simple. On the other side, Billy Clinton loses his cool. We're going to talk about it. Don't go anywhere.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you believe in conservative politics, common sense issues, and the U.S. Constitution? So does Matt Locke. Who is Matt Locke? Well, Matt's just a guy that believes, like many of you, that our country is headed in the wrong direction. If you feel the same, then go to Matt's new website, thematlockshow.com. Matt is a friend of the Gavin Mitchell Show, and he's a conservative podcaster and talk show host who will shoot you straight and provide information that is important to the conservative listener. You'll hear political commentary, news, and he'll discuss the current issues that will affect you during this election season. Listen to Matt's daily podcast anytime on his website at thematlockshow.com, spelled MATTLOCKE, or find his show on Spreaker.com and TuneIn.com. He's also syndicated on ICRN, the Internet's new conservative radio network. Join Matt and his guest on the Matt Locke Show daily at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific on conservativeradionetwork.com, or listen to any of his 400 archive shows at any time on thematlockshow.com. The Matt Locke Show, all things conservative politics.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Are you tired of making payments to a security company that doesn't seem to have the same values as you and doesn't offer the most recent technology? American Defense Systems is a veteran-owned and operated security company specializing in home security and automation solutions to fit your lifestyle while keeping small business owners more connected to work while on the go. American Defense Systems makes practical recommendations for families to keep your home safe without trying to sell you a bunch of extra stuff. And for businesses, American Defense Systems wants to provide you with the comfort of knowing that your business is safe by allowing you the monitoring options you need without loading you up with too many extras. American Defense Systems' goal is to provide your home or business with an affordable and technically superior security and automation system. If you're not happy with your current security system or provider, set up a no-cost consultation today at AmericanDefenseSystems.com. That's AmericanDefenseSystems.com. American Defense Systems, proud to be a veteran-owned company.
The Gavin Mitchell Show, the podcast, is brought to you by Pinnacle Voice Studios and Sound Productions. Find us on the web at pinnaclevoice.com.
Tuesday, April 26th, 7 p.m. If you are in the Dallas area, I am going to be on the campus of the University of North Texas, Rollins Hall, to moderate a debate for the GOP runoff for Texas House District 64. It is hosted by Vortman's Bookstore, put on by the University of North Texas Honors College. It is open to the public. Would love for you to come out. We will have questions from the floor if you're curious to ask a state representative what's going on, what they plan to do, especially if you live in the area. Please come out and join us. If you'd like to just swing by and shake hands, would love to have you. That's Tuesday, 7 p.m., April 26th, Rawlings Hall on the campus of the University of North Texas. So Billy Clinton finally lost it. He's out there on the campaign trail hitting the stump for Hillary. And this all started a few months ago when Hillary was interrupted by the Black Lives Matter group, and they had a little exchange. And the issue came up again in a debate in early March. And the tactic was to imply that Hillary Clinton somehow claimed that all black people were, quote, super predators, because she had the audacity to point out there was a dangerous crime trend going on. The black on black crime we talk about here. We talked about what was going on in Chicago and the record pace at the murder rate. So Hillary Clinton caved in like liberals do. They caved into the pressure. And she played the game. She apologized and said she wouldn't use the word again. The protesters who shut her down said that wasn't enough on CNN because she didn't apologize for mass incarceration. Well, what is this mass incarceration business we're talking about? Well, this Black Lives Matter is a derivative of the Black Panther Party. And in 1966, the Black Panther Party had a 10-point platform which explicitly called for every single black person to be released from custody. Not just the innocent black people, not the, quote, unjustly treated black people. All black people needed to be released from incarceration. That is preposterous. That is racism in and of itself, ladies and gentlemen. What more do you want? Because they're black, they shouldn't be in jail. How is that different than saying because they're white, they should be in jail? It doesn't. So Billy Clinton's out on the stump and he gets heckled again and he loses it and said the group defends gang leaders who gets kids, quote, hopped up on crack. The quote reads, I don't know how you would characterize the gang leaders who got 13-year-old kids hopped up on crack and sent them out in the streets to murder other African American children. Maybe you thought they were good citizens. She, referring to Hillary, didn't. She didn't. You're defending the people who kill the lives you say matter. Tell the truth. Good for Billy Clinton for finally standing up. For somebody on the left finally standing up and telling the truth. Now, you can say what you want to about Billy Clinton. That he's dishonest, and he is. That's why he got impeached. That he marginalizes women, objectifies them. He does. All of that. But right here, Billy Clinton tells the truth, and it's about time that the sane and rational people of this country unite against this domestic terrorist group. And that's exactly what they're doing in Baltimore. DeRay Mickelson, who is a Black Lives Matter leader, is running for mayor. And for the second poll in 30 days, he is polling at less than 1%. So he has a 0 point in front of him. And it was conducted in Baltimore, likely Baltimore voters, Democratic voters. But this guy has seen piles of money pour in from executives of companies, including, and I want you to write these down, Twitter and Netflix, according to his campaign filings. These people are supporting domestic terrorism. He has also been boosted by a barrage of positive press in recent weeks. The 30-year-old Baltimore native has had interviews published by major news outlets, including the Huffington Post, NBC News, and Newsweek. But despite all of that credit, all of that notoriety, all of that money, they can't convince more than 1%, less than 1%, that this guy's a viable candidate, that his ideals and his ways are exactly what this city needs. But isn't that what their platform is? We know better than you do. We're smarter than you do. We recognize the problem you don't, and we're here to fix it at all costs. But 99% plus don't agree. They don't agree with you. At what point do you look yourself in the mirror, you idiot, and realize that you're crying wolf? That people aren't interested in playing your games. They're offended when you stand on the flag. They do not like violence being the result of a protest. At what point does that light come on? It appears it doesn't to some. It appears the Democratic way is lost. It's their way or no way. It's their word or no word. They stomp out free speech, but they claim it's their free speech rights that allow them to do it. Hypocrisy at its finest. And this is the group that Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton caters to. Finally, Billy Clinton stands up, and I bet he got an earful when he got home. Hang tight. On the other side, I'm going after yet another governor and the Pope. Don't go anywhere.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? J-Bow Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. J-Bow Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. J-Bow Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, J-Bow Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A J-Bow roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A J-Bow roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. J-Bow lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. J-Bow Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessory store. Stop in and visit with brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 5 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or trike to sell? Let Twisted Roads Trading Post be the place to go. Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Sewing, embroidery, and T-shirt printing services are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit TwistedRoadsTradingPost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Hello, this is Patrick Fernari, author of Commoner Sense, The Working Person's Guide to America, and you're listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Quick reminder, you can find us on the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. Feel free to email me anytime. I welcome those emails. Gavin at thegavinmitchellshow.com. We're on Twitter at The GM Show, Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. Our show is on demand. iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, many other platforms. If you are not a member, if you have not signed up with Spreaker, it's completely free, and we sure would appreciate it if you would just take a few minutes, create an account. It is free. Search The Gavin Mitchell Show and give us a follow. We're trying to accumulate 100 followers. so that we qualify for iHeartMedia, and that's something that's a big goal of ours. You can find us every weeknight, 5 p.m. on the Conservative Radio Network. We are on the 405 Media and K98 Talk as well. And then every Saturday night, News and Information KLIF in the Dallas area, we are live on 570 AM, 8 p.m. Saturday nights. If you are not in the Dallas area, you can stream that show live at conservativeradionetwork.com. Would love to have you. Would love for you to call in. So I want to hit these three stories very quickly as we close out the week. They have extradited the Romanian hacker Guccifer to the United States, and they're feeling like this is no coincidence. FoxNews.com is reporting that this is directly tied to the criminal investigation to Hillary Clinton, and they're saying it's not a coincidence. Reason being, Guccifer's cyber crime belt was allegedly accessing the email account of Clinton confidant Sidney Blumenthal, one of Clinton's most prolific advice givers when she was Secretary of the State. And it was through this hack that Clinton's use of a personal account, ClintonEmail.com, first came to light. Now, what this does is this allows the FBI to tie Clinton's email account with the hack that is not state-sponsored. The state-sponsored is bad enough, but this proves that just a rogue hacker can get in. Now, they brought him back on real charges. It's not like these are made up and trumped up charges, but the timing is more than curious, and he is here to get Hillary Clinton. Make no mistake about it. I want to go out to the Vatican, and I'm very curious how all these great corporations are going to respond that stand up against these states that are implementing religious liberties and safety plans and things of that nature to protect our society, because the Pope came out with his Modern Family document, and many people thought he was going to finally ease the stance of the church on gay marriage and ease the stance on a number of things. Well, he didn't. He came out and said, and I'm just going to read you a few quotes, standing firm, quote, "The only exclusive and indelusionable union between a man and a woman has a planetary role to play in society. No union that is temporary or closed to the transmission of life can ensure the future of the society." He took the traditional approach of the church, saying, no, you know what? We're not for gay marriage. We're not going to be for gay marriage. It is against what's said in the Bible, and that's that. And so now I wonder, we talked about Saudi Arabia wanting to execute people who were openly gay. But yet these businesses that chastise the states that take stance for religious liberties, they do business in Saudi Arabia and they don't do anything. I'm curious to see their reaction to the Vatican stance. And finally, I want to go out to South Carolina, and let's talk about Governor Nikki Haley. She comes out and she supports Marco Rubio. First off, she gives the State of the Union rebuke from the right. Then she supports Marco Rubio. Then she supports Ted Cruz. Slowly but surely, I am not a fan of this lady. She's just too wishy-washy for me. The headline from Breitbart reads, Governor Nikki Haley comes out against gender affirmation law in South Carolina. Quote, "I don't believe it's necessary," Haley said Wednesday amid growing progressive hostility to the gender affirmation law. Quote, "When I look at South Carolina, we look at our situations. We're not hearing of anybody's religious liberties that are being violated, and we're not hearing any citizens that feel like they're being violated in terms of the freedoms. Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's coming, Nikki Haley. We have an administration that is rogue. We have an administration that has federal law in place that says if you make a person with male genitalia go to the male bathroom, but they tell you they identify as a woman that day, you have to let them go to the women's restroom or you're in violation of federal law. You have discriminated against that person and you have hurt their feelings. So why would you not, in a state, in a union where state rights matter, in that state, stand up for what we believe, for the safety of our kids? For all the arguments that we've laid out up until this point, why wouldn't you stand up and make sure the law is on the books, even if it is preemptive, Governor? Even if it is getting ahead of the curve, why wouldn't you do that? I'll tell you why you wouldn't do that. Because you're realizing that you have reached the pinnacle of your career and you're not interested in standing up for what's right. You're not interested in standing up for what matters. You're not interested in being a real conservative Because real conservatives are principles. They're morals. And we make decisions based on those. It's not positions you take on certain issues. It's those morals and beliefs and the makeup of a person that lends itself to those positions. I can disagree with a number of conservatives, but our makeup is still the same. Our makeup is the Constitution matters, and it rules this country. And the Bible is our daily checklist, and Jesus Christ is real, and he is our Savior, and he died for our sins. That is the makeup of a conservative, and it's through those lenses you view situations and you come to conclusions. I can disagree with great conservatives, but they're every bit the conservative that I am. You, ma'am, are not. You are a wishy-washy politician. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You are the reason Donald Trump exists. You are the Republican that is the lack of opposition to this administration. You had an opportunity for your state to take a stand, and you didn't do it. And you won't do it. You are a coward. You're a coward just like that governor in Georgia. That's who you are. That's what you're about. Let's not hide. Let's not run from it. If that's what you want to be, that's fine. But don't pretend you're something else. Don't come on TV and act like you represent everybody with a conservative value, because you don't. It really is that simple. I don't know how else to put it. I think it's fascinating. I just think it's fascinating that these politicians can continue to think they can pull the wool over our eyes and not see it. Folks, that's going to do it for today's show. It has been a great week, a great sports week. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow night on KLIF. But until Monday, well, actually until tomorrow, in the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night and right back here Monday. I'm Gavin Mitchell. This has been The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Thanks for listening to The Gavin Mitchell Show, the voice of the working man, produced in Fort Worth, Texas. If you like what you just heard, subscribe on iTunes and Spreaker.com. These and other links can be found on our website at thegavinmitchellshow.com. Be sure to tell your friends and colleagues about the Voice of the Working Man's daily podcast. Join us tomorrow for another edition of The Gavin Mitchell Show. All opinions expressed by the host or guests on this series are solely their opinions and do not reflect the views, policies, or positions of The Gavin Mitchell Show or its affiliates. This has been a Ron Phillips Pinnacle Voice Studios production.